It's the Christmas holidays and it's time for our annual Winter Special. Earlier this year on Remove Before Race, I shared with you my first thoughts on the brilliant E63S Performance Plus, and as we saw, it's a true game changer. I then picked up my own Edition 1 and went through the spec in detail and finally compared the sound to the brilliant C63S, but ended it with the promise of a full performance review, and the time for that is now. This is the one you've been clamouring for in the comments. Let's put the performance to the test, and where better than our home turf of MB World in Brooklands, and who better to do it with than co-host Sideways Sid. So Sid, on your channel this month, you tried the new C63S Coupe. So
Yes,
that was your first foray into the 4 litre. What was that like?
Do you know what? I was a little bit worried.
Yep.
I didn't think it would have quite the mustard of the 6.2 litre V8, but it's
because you used to own one, right? You had a W204.
I had a W204 C63.
Estate.
Yeah. So it was an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Great engine, great soundtrack, you know.
Because people go on and on about how the turbocharged engines they're not as good as the naturally aspirated 6.2 litre, and they don't even want to try the car.
No, purists are a little bit negative about it.
Yeah.
But there is nothing to worry about it at all. I think the.
But that's people who haven't tried it.
Yeah, I know. It's people who haven't tried it. Well, they're wrong.
Yeah.
You actually don't miss the 6.2 litre V8.
I don't think you do at all. This has got the same unit.
Yes.
It's the stage 2, as we call it, of the M177, and it's 612 bhp compared to the 4MATIC Plus. Now, I've lived with this for about 5 months.
Okay.
And previously, where I thought the C63S Coupe was the quintessential AMG, I still do think it's the quintessential AMG, but in terms of the most AMG you can buy for the money, and actually, in terms of the best performance car in the world, I am convinced that it's this one. And I'm so convinced that I brought you here with that.
What? AMG GT R?
Yep, the beast of the green hell. The AMG GT R.
You're a bit brave, aren't you?
I'm just so confident in the ability of this car. Now look, I'm not saying that it's a faster car or it's better around the track, but what I am saying is it can almost match it in some things, it can definitely match it in others, and it's better at it than some things, which is quite a statement for a saloon car.
That is quite a statement. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a 2-ton car. I know it's got 4-wheel drive and 621 brake horsepower, but the AMG GT R is a full-out track weapon.
It is, it's like a mini GT3 car.
Pretty much.
But that's what we're going to test today. That's what makes it interesting.
This is going to make it really interesting.
There's things on both sides. So how about I try and keep up with you on the handling circuit?
I don't think you'll stand a chance.
I think I can.
No, I don't think you'll stand a chance.
I think I can.
No, he's talking nonsense.
Let's try it.
Go on, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Go on.
Wait, Sid, we forgot something.
Go on.
It's Christmas time.
Okay.
It's Christmas time, and one of our fans sent us a gift.
Okay. Who's it for, me?
No, it's not for you.
Oh,
let me show you. If you open the boot of the GTR. So we have a gift here.
Oh, special gift.
It's not for us. Can you read that?
To Chewy.
To Chewy. Chewy, come here.
Come here, Chewy. Come on, Chewy.
No swearing.
No swearing.
PG.
It's Christmas. No swearing allowed.
Come on, it's a
Come
fan.
on, Chewy, come
you
on.
can't say no to a fan. Come on.
I don't have any fans.
You do have
loads
fans.
of
Look.
fans.
It's just I'm cold, that's not really a fan.
You have loads of fans.
You have the infamous
Come on,
look.
open it.
Go on, open it.
It's
See
Christmas.
what you think.
Even though you're a bearded Muslim. It's Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Just rip it.
Go on, rip it open.
Use some of those Wookies.
I'm a bit keen now.
Today is also the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi. Hilariously.
Do you know what? That is the best Christmas gift.
Isn't that the best gift ever?
That is the best gift ever.
I'm speechless.
Well, at least you'll be warm when you're filming us today.
And that's there just to remind you who you are.
Yeah. Come on, put it on.
Come on.
Sid, hold him down.
Come on, look. Give him it. Wear it.
Wear it.
I like that bit. It's quite cool. Nice piece.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. No problem.
That's why you subscribe to this channel.
Yeah.
Can't
PG.
get the bloody thing off.
How can you get your skin off? It's like
Skin off.
Merry Christmas.
Peel it off like a lamb doner. Right then, the AMG GT R. I'm super excited. I haven't driven one of these, and yeah, this should be the ultimate track weapon. What Raz is thinking that the E63S can keep up with this car, I don't know. He must be smoking something, definitely. We're going to go out on the dynamic handling circuit. Now, I'm going to work through some of the systems. This car has the 9-stage traction control, but rather than me being an absolute child and turn it all the way off, I'm going to work my way up to it. So we're going to go from Sport to Sport Plus and then to Race. But yeah, this should be a real exciting car. Out there, it's pretty damp, and I'm a little bit worried that Raz is going to keep up. Yeah, he's going to keep up. But anyhow, let's go out and do some skids. Skids? Are we going to do skids? No, we're going to go for, yeah, we're going to go fast.
Right, so there we are. It'll be really interesting to see what Sid thinks of the GTR. This is his first time in it, so I'm sure he's quite excited.
And then do skids. And then do more skids. But yeah.
So driving modes wise, I'm going to be in Sport Plus. We're going to keep it slow and just warm the car up a little bit. So if we get the ignition going, if I get the car into Sport Plus. Now, one cool thing that E63 does, it always does quite a nice startup regardless of when you do it. So it's not just cold start. So if we turn this on, see that? Pure AMG. And that's what's amazing about this 4 litre. But now you're actually going to finally see what it's like when you put it fully through its paces, which we haven't been able to do so far. So let's get going. So just for a warm-up lap first, let's see if I'm right. I've got 612 brake horsepower, 850 Newton meters of torque, the 4MATIC system. We're just going to go for a warm-up lap. Now, one thing I couldn't show you guys in the first 2 videos, the first one because it was just in normal roads, and the second one because it was the car in the running in phase, was what the car sounds like on full throttle. Now listen to that. That's finally, I explained to you guys before, the E63 gives the majority of its sound post 4,000 RPM, which is something we couldn't do in running in. But on this track now, we can let loose.
So right then, the MEGA AMG GT R, a rival to the GT3 RS. In fact, probably the GT3 RS is pretty scared of this car. So then, what we got? 4 litre twin turbo V8, 516 foot-pounds of torque. The engine is just a masterpiece. It likes to rev. It's not really any much lag, if I'm honest. I mean, you've got the turbos in a hot V and you just got instant response. The front end of this car is just amazing. The steering is fantastic too. I mean, you can really lean on the front end a bit too much sometimes. It's a bit greasy out here, and we're on the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2, which is a good track tyre, but we're struggling to get a little bit of heat. But the motor is just, it's just a sensational thing. This is a proper track car, AMG GT R. I've been playing with some of the systems, and in sport mode, you don't have the rear wheel steering, and it's pretty interesting the way it behaves. You do get really nice turning, but when you put it in Sport Plus, when you do get the rear wheel steering, it turns in a bit too keen, a bit like a, well, mid-engine car. Mind you, it is front mid-engine. Now I've got it in, well, race mode. Sport Plus is just a little bit more, but you guys want to know what it's like in race mode, don't you? So let's do 1 lap of it going really fast. Raz is behind me in the E63S, and I'll tell you what, he's keeping up. How is an E63S doing this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the AMG GT R is lighter. Yes, it's got less power, but fundamentally it's lighter. But in these conditions, he's just got me, especially on the straight where I'm having to, struggling for grip. Big time.
Power, so much power. It's like an unlimited well of power coming from the engine of this car.
He's right on my tail. Right on my tail. Right. I'm going to try a bit harder. But I don't think I can shake him off. I really don't. That E63 is some car though. But this, I'm having loads of fun in this. Probably a bit too much fun.
Now let's talk about this engine, because the one in the previous car was the 5.5 litre bi-turbo, and that car, well, I wasn't a big fan of that engine because it had turbo lag and it didn't sound anywhere near as exciting as this one. It's got better fuel consumption. It sounds 1,000 times better than the 5.5 litre. Most of the time, it sounds better than the 6.2 litre V8. And that's unheard of. As Sid said earlier, he didn't realise when he tried the E63S Coupe just how much better it is than the older car. There's no turbo lag now thanks to the hot V setup of the turbos nestled within the cylinder banks. Now, one thing I love about this car is just how good the steering is. It's got such a weighted feel to it, and it's so precise. And this is, you have to remember, electronic steering, which most people and most enthusiasts just hate, but Mercedes have managed to nail it in a way that recent Porsches, for example, just haven't been able to do. What you have to remember is that this is a 5-door family saloon. This car can do exactly what the Mercedes S-Class does as well, which when you think about it, it's incredible. It's got 612 brake horsepower and it's keeping up with an AMG GT R and sounding in its own way just as good. Now, one thing about this car on normal roads is some people have thought it's quite busy in suspension. I don't agree. I think it's way, way better than the C63S. I think it's a significant amount more luxurious, and if you've got it in the comfort setting, I think it can genuinely be a luxury executive car. And that's the beauty, that's the true duality of a real AMG. I'm actually having to slow down because on this track, the E, it just wants to take over the GTR.
Well, I can't shake Raz off, so I might as well just be completely on and just you've got to be really fast with your hands, otherwise it becomes a little bit too leery. But what a car, you've got to concentrate a little bit. Wow, love this AMG GTR, love it.
Now the great thing about the 4MATIC Plus is that it feels like a rear-wheel drive car most of the time. Most of the power is always going to the rear, and it only really gives you the power in the front when you want it. It's so clever. When you're coming out of a corner, it'll only transfer that to the front when you need it, which is exactly what you want, which means you can do all sorts of exciting stuff with this car that you can't in some things like, say, the Audi RS6. To my memory, there's never been a bigger jump from one generation to the next with the E63. The previous car, much more like a big brother C63, rear-wheel drive, lots of power going to the rear, hoonigan car, etc. But the breadth of ability that this has, being a winter car, now as I said it was damp today, it's just handling it effortlessly, being a luxury S-Class type executive car as well, and then turning on drift mode, or even, to be honest, having the ESP in Sport, it's quite exciting. You can drift it in a proper 4MATIC car. And it's just given this car a character that the old one could never hope to match, and it's better in every single discernible category compared to the old one, and I don't think we've ever had an upgrade like that. What a car.
This is a very, very leery car. So to conclude, the AMG GTR is one hell of a machine. I'm sure on the dry, it's a monster. And it's a very leery monster. But in conditions like today, I can't get away from the E63S.
We finally retired off the circuit and headed towards the dynamic area for our next test. This would be a friendly little race, just to see whether the E63 can hold its own against a supercar like the GTR. It does have more horsepower and 4MATIC, but we must remember the GTR is much lighter and it is the flagship AMG. Now of course we were consummate professionals about this, and this was by no means a measuring exercise.
Right then, so Raz has got a lot more power, over 600 brake. However, I'm still lighter and a far more skillful driver too.
This test is to show you just how good I think the E63 would be in a scenario where you're like coming off the lights against a car like the GTR or any car. I think this is going to do amazingly. So let's see if we can embarrass Sid a little bit now. Sid, you ready to get embarrassed?
Don't you mean the other way around?
It's really cute that you think that's going to happen.
Actually will.
Alright, let's go for it.
Let's do this.
So I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, I just got annihilated by Raz. I knew it was a rig. It was all set up.
Destroyed him. Destroyed him. Think about it. This is a 5-door family saloon car, and it just obliterated the top dog of AMG off the lights, basically. What else can do that? That has the breadth of ability of this car. There's nothing out there.
Yeah, it was rigged. It was totally rigged. Raz has probably sent that E63 back off to Germany and it's probably running 800 horsepower.
So now we are on the skid pan. Sid is wasting no time to go sideways.
Right then, so we've done most of the serious stuff. It's now time to get into the, well, it's now time to get into the drifty bit. This is so relaxing. Oh, I'm running out of lock. Yeah, that's the only problem with the AMG GTR is you don't have enough lock for slidey stuff. But for this kind of thing, not too bad. Engine's brilliant. Just feels so normally aspirated, which is just so nice. This is so peaceful. I wonder how Raz is getting on. Oh, he's over there. Oh, okay. He's probably still in his four-wheel drive mode. Oh no, he's in skiddy mode. Here you go, Raz.
So we've done all the serious stuff. That's out of the way. Now it's time to just have a bit of fun in drift mode. What other car can do what this car can do? This is what I've kept saying in this review. I mean it. There's no other car, in my opinion, in the world that's got the breadth of ability that this thing does. It is just insane for a practical family car to do what this can do. I've got Elliott, Drift God, with me here as well, by the way. Check him out, here he is.
Hi guys.
He's just being silent because he's really polite. I mean, what do you think, Els?
I love it. I think for me this is easily ultimate daily.
It is, isn't it? I mean, what else can do what this was just doing? Just blasting a GTR, keeping up. I mean, to be honest, it could have chewed up the GTR on the track.
I bet I'm having more fun than he is. Or probably he's having more fun than me because he's got a longer wheelbase and it's actually good for that type of stuff. But this is actually quite nice. Raz is just spun. I could do this all day. I just want to live at Brooklands now. And that's what you call karma. That is what you call karma. So, I mean, like I said, you haven't got that much lock, but you have got enough response. So when it does step out of line, especially with 516 foot-pounds of torque, you can correct it pretty easy, which is... So yeah, the AMG GTR is in the top 10 of most easy slidey cars for sideways stuff. But I wonder how Raz is getting on, more importantly.
Now Sid's car has got the traction control, naughty button as we like to allude to all the time here, as we call it. So he's got 9 different stages of rear slip that he can choose, which is straight out the AMG GT3 race car. He's also got rear wheel steering, which makes quite a difference on a skid pan like this. We've just got drift mode, which is all we need really. Because you can do nice skids like this in a safe environment. It's so much fun to be had at Mercedes Benz World. And in 2018 they've got so much new stuff coming on. The 43 series are going to be joining the rest of the cars which weren't on there previously, and they are just, you won't believe me when I say it, but they're the best here. They're just the best experience, because you just enjoy the full breadth of the car's ability, which you can't really with these cars. Well, or at least not as much. You still get so much fun like we had today, but to truly experience it, the 43s are brilliant. Sid, have you had your fun?
Too much.
Man, let's go and conclude this now.
What a lovely Thursday.
Right, so I think it's time to conclude this.
It is time to conclude. What an awesome morning. 2 cars, E63S.
So this is your first time in both the GTR and the E63.
Yeah, it is. And literally my first time in this car now, so I'm going to go out and
do what you do best, really.
Yeah, do what I do best.
As your namesake.
Right, let's go second gear.
You'll find this a lot easier to...
It's so much easier, especially with the longer wheelbase.
Now, as we discussed in our intro, I think this is the best performance car that money can buy at the moment.
I think it is too.
Do you agree? Have we gotten there in this episode?
We have.
We have.
Agree? This is the best performance car. I mean, I couldn't get away with you on the handling circuit.
I had to hold back.
You had to hold back?
I had to hold back, which is why on a couple of occasions I actually did hold back and then gave it some beans, because there was so much grip and traction out of the 4MATIC Plus system that, don't get me wrong, it feels rear wheel drive all the time, but when you're coming out of the corner and you need the power goes to the front, and it gives you all that grip, and that's where the torque comes in at the
Exactly. It's hard to tell now at the minute. I'm just sliding it around. I'll tell you what though, this is a much more easier car than the AMG GTR.
Way.
Yeah, I know. With the GTR, you don't have enough lock. You don't have enough lock.
It's not actually meant to be a sliding car.
No. And conditions today didn't really help it.
Oh, you're just making excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying.
It was a little bit damp. It was like.
What do you mean a little bit damp? It was chucking.
It's like when you get a bit excited looking at a new car. Is that kind of damp?
I think.
Can I say that on YouTube?
Well, you've said it already. It's too late. So take it how you want it, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, this is the better drift car. I think it's just the better car for today. It's just won everything.
It has.
You know.
But that's not to say. I mean, look, that is a really small handling circuit.
Yeah.
So if we were at Silverstone, this would have been destroyed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, there's no doubt.
A nice
about that.
dry summer's day. Get those cut twos working.
Oh yeah.
It'd be proper.
Off the line, of course, you know, a four-wheel drive car is going to pick up traction quicker, and it's not the longest straight here at MB World either. Yeah. But just to show that even in these little scenarios where in real life you might be at the lights, or you might be on some country A and B roads. Yeah. This is just a
it does everything, doesn't it? It's got a nice cabin. It looks good. I'm liking the skins in this though. This is just so easy. Longer wheelbase.
Sid was thinking about a Panamera.
Yeah, I was thinking about a Panamera. In fact, yeah, I was.
Maybe we're driving him over to the dark side.
You are. You definitely are. The problem with the Panamera is the equivalent turbo is 140 grand.
Yeah, that's a lot more money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot more money. And okay.
But to be fair, that will probably go up against the. Well, here's a thought for you. How good this car is. What is the new AMG GT4 door going to be like?
Oh, Lord knows. Lord knows.
That's a notch. How do you get a notch above this? How is that even? How is that physically, engineeringly possible? It's engineeringly.
You don't know. I have no idea. I mean, and that would be a better suited rival to the Panamera Turbo.
It would be a similar price. Yeah. But this is already as good as the Panamera Turbo.
Exactly.
So what is that?
Lord knows. Lord knows. And I'll tell you what, the new BMW M5 is.
And on that note, end it?
I reckon we should end it.
We've had a good run.
Yeah,
So
we
guys,
have.
thank you so much for watching. We've had our resident skidding master, the son of Skids, Sideways Sid here.
Hello, folks.
Our,
Well, goodbye, folks, really.
Goodbye, folks, yeah. But don't worry, he'll be back.
Yeah.
He's part of the team. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this. I know you've been clamouring for it for ages. And we've done it as our winter special. Loads more coming in 2018 with this man as well. So please do like and subscribe. Check his channel out as well. And we'll see you again soon. Give it a skid, Sid.
Keep it sideways, lads. I've got to
Sideways.
keep it sideways.
Keep it sideways.
We're going to go out on the handling circuit. You had to do it, didn't you? You had to kill it.
Kill what, bro?
I was doing my piece of camera. It was,
Oh, you're on the camera, bro.
yeah. I've got to do it again now.
Hey, he's on the camera.
Chewy, you're a nightmare, man. You completely
That
destroyed.
is on button, yeah?
Yeah, on, and then you press this button. Turn everything off.
Fart button,
Fart button,
yeah?
and then
And kick some music, yeah?
and this is crash button.
That's one.
Crash button.
That's Sid button, isn't it?
Yeah, Sid button. That's pretty much the Sid button. But it's a crash button.
Shit button. Okay, bro. Do it
Okay,
again.
bro. I need to do it again.
Take two.
Take 2.
Right, so here we are in the GTR. No, not in the E63.
Tell me about how much fun you had today.
Loads.
Loads.
Did you have fun?
We sat in the freezing cold. Well, my man was skidding on the pants here over there, yeah? Now look at them. Look at them. Look. God knows what they're up to.
That's got
Gangster.
large caliber written all over it.
You have to discipline them. Down, boy, down! No Costa for you.